Today, our streak of seeing nothing but absolute stupid come out of gentlemen's clubs continues. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's research-informed defensive lesson here at Active Self-Protection. It's a doozy. I am your host, John Correa.
And I'm your co-host, Neil Widener. Today's video comes from Melbourne, Australia.
Today's video is sponsored by Delete Me, and not only is Delete Me a sponsor of Active Self-Protection, I am a client and have been for years. Just like our other sponsors, I never recommend something that I do not personally use all the time. And I've been a customer of Delete Me's for over 2 years. I've got the receipts to prove that for you. And listen, what they do is they go and talk to and request all the data brokers get rid of your personal information so that your personal information can't be sold and brokered around the internet or available to people who might stalk you or use it for nefarious means. It has kept me from having my address online, where I had a stalker at one point, a crazy lady from the gym. And literally, she couldn't find where I was and what my address was because we had been using Delete Me. They check over 1,000 brokers. They recheck every other month and put in delete requests, and it goes again and again and again. Saves you hundreds of hours of work. And I am very happy with the service at a really reasonable price. I'm trying to be even safer and smarter in 2026, and maybe this is a great way for you to be safer and smarter this year too. Hit the link in the description and check Delete Me out. I've linked the news story in the description. These idiots got stupid inside the nudie bar, and so the security comes over and is like, nah, man, apparently they were treating the girls bad, treating the staff bad. So they get tossed, and they are going to get tossed out. And one of them you can see here is getting violent. He grabs a stanchion. Well, that makes the big bouncer go, no, friend, you're out of here. And then they're going to toss his buddy out as well and really give him the heave-ho. Tell him, hey, man, you got to go. And he's like, all right, I give up. Now, his dumb, drunk, violent buddy, right? He's trying to say, hey, man, let us back in. I'm sorry. Well, his buddy's going to go to the restaurant next door. And once he can figure out the automatic sliding door because he's drunk, he's going to grab a chair. The staff's like, no, you can't have that chair. He's like, oh, no, I'm taking that chair, which he is going to wing at the staff there. Unfortunately for him, he bonks his buddy right in the back of the head and knocks him cold as a block of ice. Watch the head of security here. See it about to come. Duck inside. Dong. And that is all she wrote for his buddy. He goes, no. And unfortunately, then the head of security laughs his butt off at him. Well, eventually the dude gets up and they walk off and go about their day. The staff got the chair back, and apparently, according to the news story, it was unharmed. So, Neil, I have literally no experience inside a strip club. Like, I went one time right after I got out of boot camp. I hated every minute of it. Just was not my jam. So, yeah. But apparently you do.
Oh, come on, man. No, that's not true. I haven't been in one of those in decades at least. But I do remember, and it strangely reminded me of this video about my 21st birthday. All of my buddies rented a party bus to take Neil to the strippers, and we drove for an hour up to the middle of nowhere, South Dakota, to a strip bar, and one of my buddies threw a chair and we got kicked out. So yeah, I don't have great experiences with them either. So
let's learn lessons from Neil's debacle. Wait. So we do talk about the rules of stupid at Active Self-Protection pretty regularly. Remember, that's Farnham's Law as amended. Don't go stupid places with stupid people at stupid times and do stupid things. And of course, I think going to a gentleman's club, which I've never seen a gentleman at in my life, is breaking probably all of those. And I'm not trying to give people a hard time. Everybody's got their own thing, and I'm sex positive, but like, you've got to understand there's stupid people all over that place. You're out there at stupid times. And so you can't get stupid. And if you have a stupid buddy, you're breaking all the rules of stupid.
Yeah, going anywhere with that stupid friend of yours that gets drunk and does all the crazy stuff that has a million crazy stories is never the right guy to go out with, especially in a case like this, where you're going somewhere where they're going to give you a bunch of drinks. They're going to try to get you, fired up about whatever so that they can get all of the dollars out of your wallet. And if you've got a guy with you that makes poor decisions, you're going to go home early. Maybe you're going to save a little bit of money, but you're going to end up on the national news just like this.
And remember, if you can't identify the stupid friend in your friend group, there is a good chance that you are the stupid friend in your friend group. So try not to be that, right? We tell people be good, sane, sober, moral, prudent people, and they don't do stuff like this. They don't get in fights. They aren't crap bags to staff. And even again, if you want to go to the strip club, whatever, but be kind to people, right? Be a good person. Now here, the drunk, stupid, violent buddy decides, well, I'm going to pick up a stanchion. And the problem here, Neil, is that, this elevates this from getting kicked out of a bar, that if he ends up attacking somebody with this, could be certainly in the US aggravated assault charges. I'm not sure what the Australian law would do here, but it couldn't be good.
Yeah, those things are super heavy. They're pretty hard to swing, I would imagine, because all the weight is down on the bottom of it. But I mean, that's literally a deadly threat right there. At the very least, you're going to throw it through a window, or you're going to really hurt somebody. So the one good decision that the bald guy made that night was to put that down.
And you got to recognize, listen, okay, I'm not anti-alcohol at all, okay? I'm a bourbon aficionado. I love a nice bourbon. But you got to recognize, man, if you have a tendency of getting, riled up and violent when you get drunk, then you got to make a personal decision. I'm just not going to get drunk. And if you need to go get help with that, man, Alcoholics Anonymous has been around for over 100 years and is a fantastic resource for people. Go get help, friend. And again, this guy then gets kicked out and sent off down the road. Now, our more reasonable friend here, who's like, hey, man, I'm sorry, I don't want any problems. Well, they kick him out too, because good for the goose, good for the gander. And now he's deciding, oh, hey, I want to get back in. So please, can we go back in and pay people to give us sexual frustration? And that seems silly to me too. But sometimes you just got to recognize, okay, we screwed this up. My answer here is to get away from this and to get my buddy out of here so that we don't have any more problems. And sometimes you just got to take the L and move on.
Yeah, my guess is that the guy that we're looking at right here didn't actually see his buddy try to pick something up and potentially break anything. And he clearly isn't paying attention to what he's doing right now. But you've got to take the L when the L is there and go home with as much dignity as you possibly can, because you're only going to escalate it from here. You've already been kicked out. They've already made their stand. So take their word for it that they don't want you back, and just get out of Dodge.
I also want to recognize, look at the security here. They're not looking at the guy who's not violent. They're looking for the other guy. Where's the threat? That's actually really good self-protection there. Looking around, paying attention in your world, because those threats are going to come back. And we're going to see that actually be really important here. To the head of security, who is the guy with the short hair that was just on camera that was closest to the other guy. Now, our dude shows up and he decides, okay, I'm going to wing a chair down range here. And he's going to grab a chair no matter what this staff decides. All right, I'm going to go do this. And he's going to end up hurting his friend here. And now, again, he could face criminal charges for this. And I just think this is a good reminder that I'm all for having a good time. I'm all for going out with your friends, but this is not the actions of a reasonable, decent person. And so this guy, in my opinion, should face charges, Neil.
I really think he should. And I do want to back up a little bit here to the staff that was trying to stop him. If you're working someplace and in a position like this, and somebody walks in and tries to grab a chair or something like that is clearly drunk or inebriated to some degree, you can tell them no. I do like how she didn't try to wrap him up. She didn't try to physically stop him anymore. I think she had her hand on his shoulder and that kind of thing. But you got to be careful in that situation when somebody that is significantly larger than you walks in and tries to take something. Now, we don't see this very regularly. Usually they're coming in to steal money or rob you or whatever. But you've got to take some care in the moment that happens. It happens really quickly. And she reacted the only way that she knew how was, hey, no, I'm not going to let you take that chair. But I do like that she kept enough distance that she didn't get caught up in his backswing, because that would have really done some damage to somebody her size.
Yep. And sometimes now we get a little poetic justice here, because the old El Kabong shows up on his buddy. Of course, did he intend that? No. I do love here that our head of security sees what's coming and he decides to nope right out of there. So getting out of the danger zone, getting yourself into a place. Nope, I've got a barrier here. This guy's showing up with a chair. Now, my guess is he's going inside to go, hey, I need a bunch of friends here to accost this guy because he thinks maybe he's coming forward with the chair and they're going to have to deal with him. But just seeing that danger from a ways away, we say this all the time, man, attention buys you time, time buys you options.
Yeah, it's not their first rodeo. You can see just by the fact that they've got their head up and their eyes on the actual threat. They know that this guy standing right in front of them isn't a threat. He's begging and pleading to come back in and see the naked girls again. That's not a lot of threat there. But also one thing you got to consider is if you are so drunk that you can't pay attention to what other people are looking at, you've gone way too far. And so our guy in the blue shirt, if he's even paying a little bit of attention to what these guys are looking at, he would know that there's something going on behind him and potentially could have got to cover himself or at least got out of the way.
You might have saved him a concussion at the very least. I just also want to say, I really think these bouncers are pretty professional folk, right? So they didn't beat the living crap out of these guys when they probably could have. They just got them out of the establishment and then, okay, man, we don't want any more problems with you. That's pretty good professional conduct there. I'm not a professional bouncer. I don't, do a lot of that kind of work in terms of advising that. But I also want to recognize, was our dude desiring to do that? No, he does the old Homer Simpson with the hand on his head. And listen, bad decisions is part of inebriation, right? So that's what alcohol does. It lowers your inhibitions. It impedes your decision making and your reaction times, okay? Again, I'm not anti-alcohol, but I will say getting drunk in public I don't recommend it for people who are ASP guardians, who are active self-protectors, because you start making bad decisions and bad stuff ends up happening, and he could have hurt his buddy really bad.
Yeah, the consequences here were that he hurt his buddy and not somebody else, and didn't end up in jail over this, as far as we can tell. If this happens in the States, very likely he's facing some pretty serious charges, potentially some thievery charges even, and then an assault and all of that other stuff here. But, he's getting away with pretty light consequences. So I kind of hope he learns his lesson here. I'll guarantee you this isn't the first time he's made a poor decision after having too many drinks. It just absolutely isn't.
I guarantee you this. You're not going to get this level of stupidity unless he's gotten away with lower levels of stupidity significantly before this. I thought it was hilarious. The head of security just laughed his butt off at him. Ha ha. And then the chair was unharmed, which is really all we were worried about here. So remember, stupid should hurt. And sometimes the stupid comes in the form of your stupid buddy. And you got to acknowledge who that stupid person is and not get into a place where stupid things abound. If you do, you might end up getting El Kabonged like this guy. The security folk, though, I think they did a pretty good job of covering their ass.